Hey guys, welcome back to some more Guild of Guardians. Now in today's video, we're going to be looking at the pay to earn aspect, and a lot of players have been asking me about this when it comes to this game. Now, of course, if you're coming in here and you're playing the regular game, the regular content, you can only come in here and essentially you can play the game. You don't have the ability to actually transition these heroes to NFTs unless you're making a ton of progression, you're getting on leaderboards, because leaderboards can actually give you the key item that you need to make progression, which is looking at the shop, looking over here in the stores. It is actually under the premium. It is the Ascension Seals. Now, these Ascension Seals are what you need to transition your heroes from being just the regular heroes that we're playing the game with. And both the Core 1 and I believe the first generation heroes are the only ones that you can actually get in game. But these Ascension Seals are what you need to get the heroes ascended. When the hero is ascended, which we'll look at in just a minute, that is the way that you can transition them over to Token Trove, where you can actually sell the heroes as NFTs, which again makes a really big difference. Now, of course, looking at the seals, 450 seals for essentially $50. So you're looking at about 11 cents per seal if you break it down systematically. This is where you got to know the cost ratio. So if you're going through and you're buying some of these seals to ascend some guardians, the guardians that you have, you're going to sell on Token Trove. There is kind of its own economy over there, just based on everything, which again, we'll go over. Now, of course, this game is in the third week. I believe it is the third week of the iteration. Now, again, there is a way, I believe, through the leaderboards that you can get these Ascension Seals for free based on where you're at. Now, of course, if you're playing completely free to play, might be very difficult to get to the point of getting the free Ascension Seals. I'm really new to the game as well. That's why I love covering the content. That way, if players knowing a lot more knowledge than I do can leave their comments down below so we can actually learn this all together. But now looking at our Guardians, which is right over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice, for instance, right here is Leah. Leah is a Founder Guardian. So this is a Guardian that I actually bought over on Token Trove. Now with the Founder Guardians, you cannot get them in game unless you are purchasing them. These are unavailable to the free-to-play players. These are unavailable even if you're going in and just playing the game. These are going to have to be purchased in their entirety, and they're going to have to be purchased from the secondary market over on Token Trove. Now looking at a few right here, Cyrus is a Founder. This is another Founder, Priel. And then, of course, looking at Core 1. So Grizel is a Core 1 hero. Now, like we had said earlier, the Core 1 heroes are the heroes that you can get right now currently in the game. These are heroes that can be Radiants, as you can see right here on this right side, turned into an NFT itself. And you can see we did the same to Flix, Core 1 hero, Radiance. Ashwin, we did the same, Core 1 Radiance. And then, of course, going through here, you can see a lot of these are Core 1 heroes. But when you get to the point right here, you can see Ashwin is nothing. Ashwin is not a first generation. Ashwin is not a Core 1 hero. This is because Ashwin is not Radiant. The Radiant Guardians are strong, tradable, and gain new upgraded path. The tradable is the aspect in here that you do have to remember. Now, looking right here, you can see it costs 141 seals to Radiant him. And then, of course, you got to do the math. If you're paying, 11 cents each for the seals. And as you can see, this hero was at 147 seals on June 3rd. It cost a Radiant. And again, this is based on the market. So you can see this is kind of a declining path on where the Guardians are. Now, the reason the Ascension cost is driving down is because, number one, players are buying those Ascension Seals. Number two, a lot more heroes are turning, or a lot more players are turning these heroes into NFTs. They are in turn going ahead and swapping them over to Token Trove to sell them, which is again the reason why some of the Ascension cost is being reduced, is because we're having more heroes in the game. We are also having availability to more NFTs because they are going through the Ascension process. And you'll notice that with a lot of heroes is kind of the exact same. So even here again, this is a Founder hero. But looking here at Grizel, you'll kind of see the same, that they've been kind of going up and down. Now, of course, this is also dependent on the heroes that you can currently get in the game. That does make a big difference on where exactly the cost is going to be. You can see the Ascended Guardians and the Ascension cost. So right now where the Guardian is kind of at price ratio wise, it is cheaper to go ahead and ascend the hero than it is to buy the hero. That is kind of the big difference. So even when I look at the cost of the Ascension seals with Grizel in relationship to where if I could take her, move her to Token Trove and sell her, I would actually make a couple bucks. I think it was like $4 or $5 with the Ascension cost to take her over there and build it. And of course, looking here, that wasn't the case before, but you can go through pretty much all of the heroes that are readily available that are these Core 1 heroes and see kind of where they're falling, meaning that as players, of course, buy more of these heroes out, the cost is going to come higher. And you can see, again, the Ascension costs of the hero have been reducing, and the Ascended Guardians are the blue line that we see kind of going through there. So again, thinking of Thorit, 124 Ascension seals in there. Now, some of the ones like Tybor or other ones you can see kind of on the up and up on this one, which again is kind of interesting. So the Ascension cost is much higher than you could actually buy them, which again is kind of interesting because we're not seeing as many copies. And even looking at a couple of these heroes, when it comes to the summons, it also depends on who you can summon. So right now you see we do have Tybor in here, we have Anira in here, we have Oxalis in here, and Thorit. Thorit I have a lot of copies of. Even looking at Tybor, I've gotten a few copies of. Oxalis and also Anira, I have gotten 0. We have literally not gotten any copies at all. I think I can do some copies. Maybe we'll have some luck here with the summons. And overall, boom, there we go. Just going to recycle all of those heroes. And I think I'm pretty full on the heroes right now. Hole number 2, nothing again. Let's go ahead and burn some of these diamonds. Is number 3 going to be the one we get a legendary, which it is? Atticus. So even though Atticus is not on the rate up, or Atticus is not really here, when you're looking here at the legendary heroes, he is down here, 0.13. So they are showcasing kind of those 3 heroes, but you can see when it comes to legendary heroes, when it comes to the summons, these essentially are the 7 that we can get right now. Now, of course, they're going to be adding, and again, a lot of players are kind of saying they're going to be adding a lot more of these heroes that are going to be available that are from the different generations and everything. So looking how you can build them up higher, which of course, with a higher build cost is going to come a much, much higher price tag. So looking here, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice my comment in my rare heroes. I'm going to go ahead and confirm. Let's sacrifice those. That's going to yield us these stones. Now, of course, these soul stones come in 3 different varieties, depending on which heroes you have. We have the Imperial, we have the Keeper Souls, and we have the Redeemer Souls. These, again, are going to make a big difference on how you build up these heroes. And of course, we only sacrificed our common and rare heroes. When you start looking at some of your elite heroes right here, you can see they give us 100 each. Even when you come down a little further, when you start looking at some of the heroes that are your legendary tier, instead of 100 like the elite tier, the legendary tier is giving us 500 if we recycle these. And then of course, down here in this little yellow part, which is a little bit difficult to see because of my camera, if we go to recycle an ascended hero, or excuse me, a awakened hero, if we sacrifice these, it gives us 2,250 of your actual ability, or if we are Radiant the Guardian, it gives us these. Now, as we are right now, we are, and there's really 2 factors in here. You can see that some of these heroes, like let's look down here, this hero has 7 stars. This hero is also Radiance level 3. So that makes a really big difference on the Radiance level based on where you're kind of building. And again, a lot of players have said that if you're doing the stars, so if you're adding the stars on here, that is the time you want to do the Radiance level, that you want to do it all together at once. You don't want to do them independently. And I believe if you have the Radiance right here, 1.5K, that you can do them independently if I have the Radiance in here. But you can see the chance increases 5%. Consuming Radiant Souls will increase your Guardian's Radiance. I believe when you do it this way, you might lose the Radiance, or you might lose the essentially the resource to build it. So most players have said when it comes to the Enlightenment right here, you can see we're on Radiance 3. This will take us to Radiance 4. I need 1 copy. I need the Imperial Souls, which I have. And then, of course, I need 0 of these right now because we don't have the hero built up enough. But looking at, again, kind of the star level, right here is star level 8. Radiance level 3, you can see going to Radiance level 4 is going to require 5,000 of these Keeper Souls. This exponentially gets more expensive. And of course, looking at only having star level 8 right here, they can go to 15. That is right, guys. So when you start looking at some of the heroes that are at 15, if you look at some of the whales that have level 15 heroes, they essentially are thousands of dollars at this point of the game to really be the top tier. So again, a lot of players are saying this game is very heavy pay to win, which of course, if you're going to score on the leaderboard, if you want to make more progression faster in this game, it is going to come at the cost of purchasing Guardians. But again, you can come in here, kind of the pay to earn aspect, going in here, building up these heroes a little bit. Even here, guys, with these souls, I can go ahead and you can see the HP, attack, and defense is going from 30 to 50. Rate will not be inherited. Let's go ahead and enlighten this hero. Now, of course, this is going to take my Radiance 0 to essentially one more. So there we go. So we're going to Radiant this hero. So Flicks going to gain, you can see 6,000 HP, some more attack, more defense, going from 6 to 7 stars. And then, of course, it shows you what you need to take the hero higher. And, of course, getting these. Now, of course, this is going to take from a 30 to a 50%. Still, again, kind of new to getting these heroes, to building them up. We need another copy of Flicks, which we do not have. We need some more Keeper of Souls. And then, of course, we need some Radiance, which, again, players have said to do it together to make sure that you have the ability. Now, again, I don't know if it's doing it together this way, because this only looks like the Radiance going from no Radiance to 1. And this looks like this is going to be adding more stars to actually build them up. Again, this is requiring, I think, because I have 0 of 0 right now, because we don't have any Radiance. I don't know if maybe I should have waited to level up Flicks, but definitely let me know in the comments what you are looking at. And again, if you're looking at play to earn, looking in here and building out these heroes is going to make a big difference. For instance, when we pulled our copy of Tybor, and I'll just use him for instance, right down here, we pulled a copy of Tybor. Here was Tybor, so we pulled our legendary. We have him built out. Then I took Tybor and I actually added another copy of Tybor, which took him from 5 stars up to 6 stars. Well, now when you look at Token Trove, the 6-star Tybor is a little bit more expensive than the 5-star Tybor. So essentially building them up a little bit further did make a difference. And then, of course, once we have the enlightenment with these Imperial Souls, once we go ahead and we build them up a little bit higher, adding more stars to them is adding more of a price tag, is adding more value to the hero itself, because again, we're using these souls to build the heroes out much higher. So again, it's going to make a big difference. And of course, I don't know if it's to a certain stars. I think I need a certain amount of stars to build up some of the Radiance, because even looking here, all of the ones that have level 3 Radiance, we are looking at, 8 stars on each of these. And then, of course, starting to get a little more Radiance on there. But this one only has 7 stars, which kind of makes me wonder what we need to do to get the Radiance higher versus just getting the star higher, or actually doing it together, which again, guys, I am learning this as you are. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about Guild of Guardians. And as always, thank you guys for watching.